How you doing? Harold Hackett here now, and what I'm about to show you is how I'm constructing my baskets that I'm going to use inside my greenhouse for winter gardening. What this is here, this is from Home Depot. It's the HDX basket. It's 18 inches across and 24 inches long. And I prefer this basket because when I'm growing in the winter time, I want this black to draw in the heat and warm the soil by using radiant heat. Because what I'm trying to do here is go with a more cost-effective way of growing in the winter time without using so much energy. So this is what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do it in real time. For those baskets, and you want to measure the depth of your basket before you do it, because that way you'll know how long to cut your pieces. Sorry, I got somebody going by real slow and it's creeping me out. They're gonna go. It's just a couple of folks. I think they're just checking out. But anyway, so when you measure it, this happens to be 2.5 inches. So for the purpose of this video and for this basket, normally I would use the black PVC, and that's how I would glue those in the bottom. But for the purposes so you can see it, these are at 2.5 inches. So when I do this, these will already be in place. Now, just so you know, on this, what I did is I just used a hot glue gun and put glue in one half and the other half, and then just stuck it right on there. It's just to keep it in place till I get the lid done and everything else. So without further ado, now this is going to be a real-time build. Short of doing this part, you're going to see the build beginning to end. So yeah, I burnt 2 minutes on this, 220, but now I'm going to go into the rest of the build and you can see me do this in action. Now excuse me, I'm a little messy here, but I'm doing construction. So you see I have that here, and what I'm going to want to do, I've got my pieces of PVC. These are going to be my watering tubes, and what I did is cut them long enough so that they would sit just above it, and then angled at the bottom so there's no way that the water could be choked off. However, if you look at this basket, it's really tough to choke it out because there's grooves running everywhere to displace the water. However, that's how I did it. So next thing I'm going to do is start the build. I'm not going to do a lot of talking from this point. I'm going to do more hands-on, so if you'll watch, you'll see what I'm going to do. Half-inch drill bit. Go slow, you'll break these things. First thing I'm going to do, drill the corners. Safety glasses. Turning it over. Each one of those dimples I'm going to drill out. Drill slow, let the drill bit do the work. great thing about using those dimples is they act as a guide, so it's easy to drill. Just go slow. If you don't, you'll blow it out, you'll crack it. So go slow. Let the nice sharp drill bit. Real quick, let me see if I can adjust you guys down. You don't need to see me, you need to see what I'm doing. Each one of those dimples I'm drilling out with a 1/2 inch bit. Now you're going to know why I used a 1/2 inch bit. You look in there, I've created channels so the water will run back into those holes, back down into the reservoir part of this, and not over soaking the soil. So that's one thing I like about it. Get my holes drilled, including my corners. Move into the jigsaw. Flip it over. So I'm looking at the inside portion of the cover now. I get close to the edge of my surface without hitting it. Be careful where you're. Always check underneath. Make sure you're not going to hit nothing. Turn it. Okay. Turn. One thing too is I know where I'm at on this because I can see through. It's a little transparent, so I can see my surface. You'll see why you can't throw this lid part away, so don't just hack into it. Save this. It goes on the top, and if you're going to put like a black plastic mulch over it, use this to trap that. So it'll hold it in place. You'll see another purpose here in a little bit. Okay? know where you want to put what corner of this that you want to put your watering spigot in, and that's what you're going to do next is drill. You're going to cut that out. So you get your Sharpie, mark the location. It's not an exact science, just make a circle so that it'll go in. So as you can see by mine, all I'm going to do is cut straight across here, straight up there, and cut it around. It doesn't have to be a circle. It's going to hold it fine the way it is, especially when you get soil in there. Get this up close to your working surface. It'll make it easier. Now you can see I just cut it around. So then, got that done, I need a wick basket on it. This is important how I mark this. Mark it with the bottom, don't mark it with the open area. I make sure that I'm not over any holes when I mark this, because you got to still attach this wick basket. Draw around it. Why the bottom? I don't want it to go through. So, as you can see, it doesn't touch the holes, and it's not going to, because that's what I'm going to attach the wick basket with. So, put that done. Get my drill, and I'm going to drill out the 4 corners of what I marked. Again, go real slow. And what I mean is go slow pushing all the way speed so that this will cut. There's 1. Two. 3. One thing to remember, if you're seeing shavings come up, then you're going fast enough. There's the 4 holes, that's the 4 corners of the wick basket. Now I come back to my jigsaw. And I'm using a metal blade in here because it's a finer cut and it doesn't rip it as much. So I recommend using a metal cutting blade. Again, remember, make sure you're clear on the bottom. You don't want to run this and be running into your cutting surface. And I already know. I can see through it. Okay, now I've got the inside cut out. Alright, this is why you don't want to blow it out too much, and you want to mark from the bottom so it can't go through. Pretty important when you're using it to support. Let me get 4 of my zip ties here. So I can secure my wick basket to my base, to my bottom. So, come through. You'll notice I'm not going to attach these all the way yet. I'm just going to start them so I can center my basket. So, one, nice and loose for right now. Get the next one started. Just a little side note, when I get done building these, what I'm going to do is put cocoa coir in these wick baskets so that the soil it'll still absorb water, but it won't plug up with soil. I don't know, I might just go down and get some peat sphagnum and fill them with that on the bottom just so they're a nice good wick water retainer. So now I got it in place and I'm lining it up so it just doesn't go through, and then I'm tightening up the zip ties. Okay, now it's not going to come off. Now, I'm going to show you something here. This is a little trick for drilling hard plastic that I do. By no means do you need to, but I want to make sure that water doesn't get trapped. A little propane torch. Because this plastic is so fragile, it'll break real easy. So what I do is I just warm it up just a little bit. Like so. See that hole is starting to crack, so I gotta be careful. Okay. And again, on the bottom, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see what I mean. Even with doing that, I got a little split there, but that one came out pretty good. So that'll allow the water to come up through the bottom. So now, when it sits down, it's going to be fine. So, having done that, I put this in, like so. Get one of my drain tubes, or my fill tubes, I'm sorry. Last thing I'm going to need to do is drill holes in this. So, there is one more part that I do, and this by no means do you need to. You can attach it with Panduits, but I like form fitting, so here comes my torch again. I'm going to warm up this corner right here. Like so. Put this in here and push it. Okay. Put this down. Heat it up again. It's hot. Don't put your fingers on there. Use this cold tube. Push it on there like so. And you get a form fitter. Let it sit there for a minute, cool. Okay. And it's okay if it comes up like that. I don't need that there anyway, that part of it. And it peels right off your cold tube, so take it off. There. Now the tube fits in the corner. It's a good solid fit. Again, you don't need to do that. I did that on mine. Err on the side of safety if you want. You can zip tie it, but I want it to be fitting in that corner. Alright, last but not least, you got to have overflow drain. So what I'm going to do, come right down here. I already know that if you look in there real closely, right at the bottom of those grooves, that's where my plate's sitting. So I'm going to drill just below it, just a little bit. Nice and slow. About 1.5 inches further away, and approach another one. Nice and slow. Okay. So this is what you end up having. That's my 2 drain holes, my overflows. Last thing I do, take this off, take this out, cleans it out, put this back in, put my lid back on. Put this in. You have a self-watering feeder. All right, that's all I got for now. I just thought I'd like to show that in real time. That took about 20 minutes to build, and you'll have yourself your own $30 self-watering container. Y'all have a good day now. Take care. Bye.